Today's video, we're going to talk about Instacart ads or advertising and how you can use it to maximize the amount of sales that you're generating from your consumable products, whether that's ice cream, whether that's noodles that you're selling, whatever it is that you would normally think that you would want to sell and you see other people selling on Instacart ads. This system right here, as we have developed, gets you the most sales you could possibly get out of the platform without blowing out your ROI that you're getting from your ad. So if you need to have a 10-to-1 return on your ad spend while wanting to get as many sales as you can from that platform, running ads on that platform with all the available options, this method right here is going to be able to help you do it in the most quick, easy, and efficient manner possible, because I've already figured that out for you. We've marketed a couple brands using Instacart ads already. It was a coffee brand and somebody selling ice cream, a specialty organic ice cream seller, both of which did really well on the platform. And we just kind of figured it, I've done the figuring out through those two experiences to be able to get something going for you quickly and easily. The main thing with Instacart ads, why you even do it in the first place, is it gets you extra exposure from known buyers in the market. Just like you pay a slotting fee in a grocery store to get shown in a certain area of the store. Why? Because that taps you into known buyers, and a lot of times people that'll buy for the next 20 years from you if you can just get them to try your product out. This is basically the same exact digital equivalent of it. You want to be able to get as many people to see your products there as possible, because there's repeat, profitable, lifetime buyers on that platform that you want. And the great thing about it is you can track your investment, so you don't even have to necessarily lose money on the front end most cases to be able to sell on there, and then all the repeat purchases that they're going to make in the future is all gravy. Even if you did it though, and you basically were making no profit or you're losing a little bit of money, you would still want to be on the platform, because that gets you in front of buyers that are repeat buyers that are going to buy from you, make an average of another 10 purchases from you over time. You lose a little bit of money on that first purchase through the Instacart platform, but then you make it back on the second, third purchase, fourth purchase that you generate from that customer, which is the more important thing. You got to think about lifetime value as it comes to marketing a product like an ice cream, like a coffee, like that. Even though the tracking that Instacart provides gives you a lead into what is probably crossing the line between this isn't worth it, even with all the repeat purchases that they're going to make from my company when they buy from us one time, and what is worth it and what will provide value to us in terms of an ROI from that customer, even and with considering the future purchases that they're going to make. So with that said, I'll get right into the content explaining what this strategy is, how to do it, and kind of what kind of results you could expect from it, given the couple of experiences I've had on the platform here. So with that said, while sponsored products are the typical thing that most people are going to do, and they produce basically the highest ROI, because it's people that are the closest to making a purchase, if you will, respectively, for the most part, I wouldn't absolutely limit yourself to just that. Like going back to what I just said a second ago. You want to be able to get as much exposure from this platform as possible, because it's known repeat buyers that you're tapping into. You don't get anything as good as this unless you are in a physical store itself, talking to somebody or in front of somebody who's going to be buying a coffee today, whether it's from you or somebody else. It's just as good as that. So you want to get as many clicks as you can from the platform, not just skimming off the most profitable stuff, because as far as advertising goes, there's not going to be stuff that's any better. Outside of advertising on like Amazon, if you sell an appropriate product that will sell there, and being in the grocery store itself, this is the best thing you're going to be able to do in terms of spending marketing dollars, in terms of an ROI that you can get from it. So if you sell something mostly non-perishable, granted, you could buy specialty ice cream on Amazon and get it shipped in dry ice and so forth. If the product that you have and the category of product you have sells on Amazon, then I recommend just starting out on Amazon only for gathering valuable keyword data that's going to help you understand how to actually maximize your investment on the Instacart platform. Because Instacart does not have keyword match types. They only have exact match types. So if you don't have the exact phrase that you want to show up for, that a person searched, you're not going to show up. Unlike on Amazon, they can search for a close variant to your keyword, and ultimately through their system, you'll find out these so-called long tail versions of searches where they're typing in 3, 4, 5 word combinations that have very profitable buyers that you're not going to figure out necessarily just running your ads on the Instacart platform. So you run a campaign there, even if you don't want to necessarily be on Amazon, to pick up some keyword data. You technically could do the same thing on Google, but Amazon's search term data is much more robust. They don't hide any of the data like Google does now. And they actually, people make very, very specific searches on Amazon as compared to Google, which the specific searches is what you want. That's where the money is. In fact, you want to target a few hundred different keywords for your Instacart campaign, because the money is in the nuance of it. Knowing that if you're going to target a coffee product and that coffee has specific selling traits that make it unique, you want to target, and it's an organic coffee product like we had, what we were selling for this one client that we were specifically working with that was in the coffee space, that we have specific searches for organic, sustainable, dark roast coffee, something very specific like that we may not necessarily think of when we're just going to try to set up an Instacart campaign by itself, but we'll be able to find through running ads on Amazon or potentially through Google, and then use that data to leverage our Instacart ads to get all the possible sales we can get. And then furthermore, the reason why you would want to target more keywords is because, well, I mean, they only offer exact match, so if you don't target them all, you're not going to get the reach. But respectively, the fact that you have all those keywords and you can assign a unique bid for each keyword, you're going to be able to find out, even if you add more than you think, and then just through trial and error, you'll figure out the half of the keywords that are profitable, the half that are not, take out the half that are not, leave the half that are, and now you got a profitable stream of customers coming in from the Instacart platform. So sponsored products are great, or sponsored product ads are great. You want to start with manual bidding, because they have manual and automated bidding, which they call optimized bidding instead of smart bidding, because different ad platforms call automated bidding different things, but Instacart calls it optimized bidding. So what I recommend you do, once you get all your keyword data from Amazon, you set up your sponsored product campaign on Instacart, start out with manual bidding for the few hundred keywords that you want to target. Sell at least 50 products, really 50 to 100. Then switch to optimized bidding, because the algorithm is going to be able to get you more sales than you could get on your own. Because what they're going to do is they're going to look at the people that are searching for organic, dark roast, sustainable coffee and see if that person's male or female, and then recognize small things like, if somebody's searching for this exact keyword is female, they convert really well, but if they're male, they're not. So through the optimized bidding, they'll figure out over time that if they search for this keyword, your ad shouldn't necessarily show up for males that search for this keyword versus females. It should show up more or a higher percentage of the time, because it's not an on or off thing. You don't get, just because you bid on a keyword doesn't mean you'll always show up. The system that the Instacart platform has decides, will you show up for this keyword or will you not? And then, at the beginning you use manual bidding to you just force the system so you show up. You'll bid at a high amount, even though that's not going to be your ending goal to bid super high amount for each keyword. When you get enough data, the algorithm understands a little bit about what type of people buy and what people don't. And then when you switch to the optimized bidding, they use that data to understand, should you show up all the time for this keyword or none, or somewhere in the middle, which usually will be somewhere in the middle. So you'll get the most sales, in other words, from your market and your keywords going to optimized bidding, because it'll use data about at the user level that search for your keywords that work, and then decide to run your ads more aggressively for those people that search for those keywords, those certain specific types of demographics and so forth that search for those keywords, and then less for those demographics of people that actually buy at a lower rate and are less profitable to you overall, that are also searching for those same keywords. So once you've done that, that's the low-hanging fruit, and you're getting a great return already, then you should go to the second thing, which is to also target the browse placements, as they call it, on Instacart, to see what works for you there. So you could run your ads on aisles, departments, buy it again page, checkout page, and see what sales you can get from there at a reasonable return that you find is respectable. Again, if you think you need a 10-to-1 return on the product, in terms of sales to ad spend, you need $10 of sales for every dollar of ad spend. You can do that, but you're not going to make nearly as much from the Instacart platform, because a lot of the people, the value is in the repeat customer that you're obtaining through the platform. So for me, I'm going to simply settle for like a 4-to-1 or a 3-to-1 return, knowing that the average customer buys more than once. And in fact, to do this properly, you should go into your customer data. This is where having a website, even though you're selling in-store, comes in handy. Because when people buy from your website, you can then kind of track how many people come back and what the average repeat customer rate is and what the lifetime value of a customer is. That way you can bid and get as many, because obviously the higher you bid, the more times you're going to show up, and the less you bid, the less time you're going to show up. And if your requirement is to have a really high ROI, or ROAS as they call it, return on an account spend, then you're just going to get less customers from the platform, even though those customers would have been profitable if you just valued and understood the value of your customer versus what the value of the customer is on their first purchase. Most big companies that you're competing against for so-called shelf space on this Instacart platform understand what the lifetime value of a customer is. So if you're competing against them trying to get a return on the first purchase, and then assuming any other purchases that customer makes is all gravy, then you're going to, a lot of markets just be pushed out and you're not going to have any opportunities. So this is not even a nice to have, this is like a necessary to have in a lot of competitive markets. So anyway, with that said, you target, you run ads in these different pages of the Instacart website, see what return you're going to get. You're going to go through the same bidding process. Of course, it's not keyword based anymore, but you're going to bid for placements on each one of these placements in your individual sub niche of what you're selling. And then the ones that get a good return, you're going to keep. The ones that aren't, you're going to get rid of. Really that simple. Or the reality is you just bid less. So if you find out the return is 25% of what the aisle placement is on the buy it again page, or buy it again placement, then you just simply bid 75% less on the buy it again placement to get at least a trickle of traffic from the buy it again placement or whatever the Instacart platform will bring you. But then you obviously aren't overpaying, so you'll pay what the placement is worth to your company essentially at the end of the day. And then when you get 50 sales here, I would switch over to the optimized bidding again, just like you did it on the other placements, on the search placements itself, using the sponsored product ads. So there's the search placements and then there's the browse placements. So you start with the search placements and then you do the browse placements after, see what return you can get from each one of these individually. You just test them all. Start with a fairly high bid, so you force the system to get your ad shown, because the system's going to has 2 strikes against you before you even begin, because they have other advertisers which they already know how their products perform, and you come in, you're going to need to push your way in there with a higher bid. Then when you get enough data, that's the time where you could back off the bids, because the system now knows your products perform well, and at that point in time, then make it so that you don't have to bid as high for the same level of placement, if you will. But again, you'll do like 50 sales, switch over to optimized bidding, and then in the placements, and for the certain types of people that perform well, they'll push you more in those specific spots, whether that's male, female, old, young, whatever. And ones that aren't, they'll push you less. So that then, at the end of the day, with all that, you'll set your ROI target to whatever you think that you need to get for it to be worth it for you at the end of the day, and then the system will do the work for you. Obviously, the same thing goes with the search placements. You'll set with the optimized bidding, you set the target ROAS that you're looking for, and let the system then optimizes you for the specific people searching that are most likely to convert based upon the previous converters' traits that they look and people that they looked at that converted before, what traits that they had specifically. So, and then obviously the higher you set the ROAS target when you get into optimized bidding, the less sales you're going to get. So your goal is to figure out mathematically what's the most I should be able to pay to get a customer here where it's still worth it in terms of all the repeat business I should get out of this customer. And then that's your kind of threshold, whether that's a 3-to-1 ROAS, 4-to-1 ROAS. Understanding a 3-to-1 really is 10-to-1 when you consider all the future purchases that they're going to make. And that'll get you the most sales while still maintaining a minimum acceptable ROAS or ROI from your customers that you're generating through the platform itself. Once you've gotten all the browse placements and sucked out all the value from you can from that, from there, you're going to look at which placements are working and then maximize those placements with shoppable display and shoppable video ads. So these are just basically a way to double dip in the placements that already work so that you don't just have a product ad there. Now you have a little bit of like a banner ad, if you will, with products underneath it. You can do a banner ad with products underneath it, which is the shoppable display, or you can do a video ad with products underneath it, which is what the video shoppable video ads are. Those, and there's other like regular banner ads you can run and other display ads you can run on the platform, but for the most part, what you want to go for here is just the shoppable display and the shoppable video ads, because they drive direct action, and with that they get the better ROI. So I would go with just one of those two. Once you get to the stage of, if you browse placements, you're getting sales there, everything's good. You've already done your search placements. You go to your shoppable display and shoppable video ads, targeting the same keywords that worked from before on your sponsored product search campaign. So, because whatever worked on the search campaign, sponsored product search campaign that you had, those same keywords will work. It's effectively the same spots that you'll show up under will work for the shoppable display and shoppable video ads, because you're getting in front of the same person. All that you're doing is you're buying a bigger spot on the search results page for that person or on the product listing page. So it's just another way to maximize those opportunities that you already know is profitable through running your sponsored product ads, and double, triple down because you have a physically bigger ad that reveals more about your company and catches the eye more, and to get the maximum sales out of the platform possible. So once you find out what keywords work, then you maximize those keywords by not just running the regular sponsored product ads, but the shoppable display and the shoppable video ads along with it. You don't have to do one or the other, run them both at the same time. And of course, you're going to go through the same bidding process again. You go ahead, do your manual bidding, then go ahead and switch to optimized bidding after 50 sales or so through those shoppable display and shoppable video ads that you run. If you're wondering whether the shoppable display or shoppable video ads is better ROI-wise, it kind of depends on market. I haven't done enough testing in enough markets to really tell you like 80% of the time use this one, 80% of the time use this one. If I'm going to sell an organic product, I'm going to go with the video ads because I can show more about why and how we make the product, because that's important to people that are health conscious. They want organic, they want sustainable, that kind of thing. You don't want to just focus on the farming practices and stuff like that in your video ad, but you can show the product and also show glimpses of how you actually create the product. That actually really worked well, and that's what we did with the coffee company. If you don't have any, if it's what you have is just like a pure junk food play, and you're capitalizing on someone's addiction to chocolate or whatever, and something like that, I would more so want to go with the shoppable display, because there's not a whole lot you need to convey there, and it makes sure that the money shot of the product gets seen, whereas the video ad, going through different stuff, it's not focusing on what sells in that case. For somebody who wants to buy a chocolate bar, they want to see what the chocolate bar looks like, get a good photo of that, get a professional photo taken just for that spot, and then just run the sponsored display. So with the ice cream company, we did what worked better in that case was the shoppable display, showing money shots, if I call it as I call it, of the ice cream itself in a dish. And as far as that goes, what that photo should be is it should show the food as is it would be displayed right before you would eat it. So if it's ice cream, it should be ice cream in an ice cream dish or on a cone. If it's coffee, and it's just regular coffee, it wasn't organic or whatever, then if it was beans, I'm going to show what those beans look like up close and next to a bag of the beans so you can physically inspect it. Not necessarily the cup of coffee, because you can't distinguish one cup of coffee to another, but as close to the person consuming the product while still being able to see what the individual source product looks like, if you will. So if you're selling a sugar product, don't sell it as showing a cake with the sugar in it, obviously, in other words. So anyway, that's the way to expand what you've done with the sponsored product listings, i.e. shoppable display, shoppable video ads. The coffee company specifically on that one, we were able to generate around a 500% ROAS overall between all of these, including the sponsored video ads. And so the return actually is better on sponsored products, which is why I say you start with the easiest. Makes no sense in online ads to not start with the easiest and then parlay your profit into the next thing and then the next thing, which is the browse placements and then the shoppable display, shoppable video ads. The return on the the sponsored product ads should be about twice as good as what they're going to be on these display ads. But I would look at it as a package. Going back to what I said before, you're trying to get as many of these really juicy customers as you can get. Those customers will be repeat buyers. They'll tell other people. You'll get referral, spin-off business from that. Of course, they'll go search you on Google. That'll increase your organic rankings. There's a lot of other benefits to just maximizing your eyeballs on that platform, really, that people don't necessarily always think about. So that was what we were able to do there. In the individual ice cream company's brand, we were doing a little bit better than that. We were closer to about a 650% ROAS overall, doing the sponsored product ads and then the the shoppable display ads. So, and for that matter, I just think it's because the main thing is they had quality photos, and it was in an upscale market. I think that the fact that it looked like there was a kind of a more of a increase in demand in that market for upscale product, and in that category there wasn't, demand wasn't fully met, we'll just say. If you go to LA, you could get upscale everything. Well, in certain markets like Milwaukee, Wisconsin, there's less of that. There's less, trying to think of the word. Basically there's less niche quality products like that out there. It's more national products that made it into the stores, not super high-end products that normally don't get shipped there. So which is, by the way, one of the great things about Instacart is you can actually put that into a store, put it on Instacart, and then everybody in the whole city can get access that wants that higher end ice cream product. So instead of getting it in all the stores, now you've got a broad reach even with one placement. For the organic coffee company, that specifically was in LA, and they were selling in the super high-end grocery stores in LA, high-end natural sustainable coffee product that people wouldn't normally buy elsewhere. That kind of thing does sell well in LA, and there's still though a lot of competition there. So in my mind, with them, because there is more people trying to go after those dollars in LA, the return wasn't going to be as good because of that specific reason. But anyway, that's pretty much everything I could possibly tell you about Instacart advertising / ads. If you have any questions about anything that you're doing here, if you have a specific, unique situation, you're not sure whether everything I said here will technically apply to you, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. Ask me any question you'd like about online ads. I'd be happy to try to answer it for you. If you're looking for money-making strategies on how to make Google ads, Facebook ads, Bing ads, all of it work well for your business, this is the channel to subscribe to, as I'm managing about 50 different ad accounts for clients on an ongoing basis. And all that information that I find on the different testing we do to find out what works, what doesn't work, I give it to you exactly as it is on this channel. Other YouTube channels, they're people running them, they're YouTubers. They're not running an ad agency. They're not working directly with clients. Or they work with a couple clients and a couple ad accounts, but that doesn't give you the scope and the breadth of knowledge that you need to understand, does Facebook work in general right now when you can see 15 different Facebook accounts going at once? The information is a lot more valuable. So therefore, I legitimately, genuinely mean when you are going to subscribe to this channel, you're going to get the best information you can find on ad techniques that are actively working. And I give you working strategies here, not just fluff, not how to click buttons, but how to make money. So you should subscribe. I also got a blog at GaryTPPC.com/blog, which is also authored by myself. So if you like the channel, you'll love my blog as well. I'd appreciate it if you got value out of this video, would you give the video a like. I'd really appreciate that. And beyond that, if you're looking for somebody to just do this kind of stuff for you that can guarantee, literally guarantee results on your campaign, that's what I do for my clients at my agency. I don't work with just any client, but if you have a great product or service that you think all it needs is just great marketing right now, I'd love to be able to hear from you and then get you an estimate of how much sales increase I can get you using the techniques I share on this channel, and before we would get paid anything. We legitimately don't take payment until we increase your sales an additional 25, 50, 100%. And that basically covers the cost of what we charge you anyway. So it's a win-win situation. But you have to have something that's good, in demand. You know, we like to have somebody that's a leader in the category a lot of times, but reach out to me. I'll let you know if we can work together and get you an estimate of how much sales results I can get you using what strategies. If, by the way, if you're looking to get into a new business or just want to have a money-making opportunity in general, we've had clients reach out to us where all we do is we give them our campaign templates and landing page templates for certain industries. They'll throw those up in an account that they have and outsource the work to another local provider in the area, whether that's plumbing services, foundation repair services, or whatever. And because the account's so good, because we've used an account just like that in another geographic area, another city, for several years, optimized it till it was working perfectly, you can have something that works in your account almost right away and efficiently enough to where you could take 10% of the revenue coming in, outsource the work, and have that business model work as a business in and itself. So if you just want to make money, you should use one of our campaign templates and do something like that. Or if you're in a common market, we've got campaign templates that work for your market already, and instead of building all this stuff out for yourself, just use our template. We charge a one-time fee for those templates, and we can tell you what the results are going to be before you even start. So, but with that, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you there. See you later.